To everyone that has an agency, there's literally only one difference between being able to charge $500 a month and $5,000 a month. And once you guys understand this pricing strategy that I'm gonna unveil in the video, I'm gonna tell you guys the 3 biggest mistakes that people crucially mess up and how I personally overcame them. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Aaron Zapatero. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I've been in the agency space for almost 4 years now. I currently run a creative YouTube agency where I work with YouTubers, some of which you probably know, to boost their channels by increasing their production quality. This includes video editing, short form content, and thumbnails. And if you guys are interested in working with me and my agency or learning how I made my agency and would like to make one, definitely check out the links in the description. Anyways, let's get straight into the video. So what is this mysterious pricing strategy? Imagine out of nowhere, you're suddenly starving and you have nowhere to go. You don't want to go to a restaurant. You go to the store and you've decided you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, something simple. So you think to yourself, what are the materials required for this PB&J? I'm gonna need bread, jam, and peanut butter. Super simple, right? But when you're shopping for the bread, you notice something. Me personally, I don't really care which bread it is, and I don't really know the differences. I don't care if it's whole grain, wheat, quinoa, whatever, but some of the bread costs $1 and some of the bread costs $5. So me personally, I pick one right around the middle, maybe $3, $4, which is what most people do. And that's because the bread has been commoditized. There's not one bread that offers way more than other breads, and it's hard to differentiate yourself in this bread market. And if you're commoditized as an agency, then you will never be able to charge high prices. Now, let's go back to the bread scenario. Imagine there was a loaf of bread for $100. Now, I'm not saying the bread is gonna fly off the shelf because it's priced so high, but I am saying this. The bread is going to get 100 times the amount of attention. And the more attention you can garner, the more chances you have of actually capturing and monetizing that attention. People would look at the bread and wonder, does this cure cancer? Why is it so expensive? It would make news, it would make headlines. Why is this bread so expensive? And people would research into it. And even if you just got one customer, compared to the bread that was selling for $1, that's worth 100 customers to them. So the key to charging more and the pricing strategy that we're gonna be talking about is all about decommoditizing yourself in the agency space. And I'm gonna show you the 3 ways to do it and the 3 mistakes that people make most often. The first and the biggest mistake is competing on price. And as you guys know, when you compete on price, it's simply a race to the bottom. Who has the lowest price? And in fact, competing on price can actually harm your service. Imagine you have an SMMA and you only charge $100 a month. People would think that you have no idea how to run ads because you're so cheap compared to everyone else. People would literally think your services are worse just based off your price. And the same is true if you charge more. If you were charging $10,000 a month, people would automatically assume, okay, this guy has the confidence to charge this much. He must know something that everyone else doesn't know. And so me personally, I'd rather increase my prices and have my perceived value be higher. But there is something crucial to know. It's not just that I charge a lot, but it's because I'm the best in the space that I am. So the trick isn't just to charge as much as you can. The trick is to think to yourself, if my services were 10 times the price that they are now, how much more would I have to provide for it to be worth it? If you're currently charging $1,000 a month, how much more would you provide if you were charging $10,000 a month? And there's a lot of free things that you can actually include into your service to charge more. Make your service better and then you can charge more. And it's not that you're ripping people off, it's that you're just providing more value. And that's the first step to decommoditizing yourself. The second biggest mistake that I see agency owners making is using a one-size-fits-all pricing model. And this pricing model is so dead unless you're in a productized service, which is also hard to charge a lot. But for most of you, you need to be doing custom pricing for your clients. You see, each client has unique needs and unique expectations, and you need to figure out what theirs are so that you can best cater to them. And I want you guys to know, this isn't all about charging your client the most, it's about helping your client the most. And I want you guys to know that this video isn't about how to scam your clients, it's about how to provide your client the most that you can. It's about providing more and then in turn, them being happily willing to pay you more. And so tactically what you wanna do is hop on a call. And I personally hop on a call with every prospect that I meet because I wanna be able to hear them out fully and understand what they need. And honestly, there's been times where I hear what they need and we've agreed on a higher price, but I know what they're asking doesn't require too much work. So I actually lower my price. I don't wanna rip people off. because then they're gonna leave. And in fact, having a lower turnover is better than just charging maybe 10% more. And so when you think about it, fundamentally, you wanna provide more, but you can't provide more if you don't know what more looks like to your client. So figure out what exactly it is your client needs, what they would love to have, what they could live without, and then figure out a way to best balance it all out and present them a custom offer. When you do this, once again, you separate yourself, and that's the second key to decommoditizing yourself. The third best way to decommoditize yourself is to niche down. And the mistake that so many people make is trying to get every single client out there, so they offer services that cater to every single client. And when you do that, you seem like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And remember, the key to decommoditizing yourself is to become a specialized unit at one thing. You want to become specialized at one thing so that you become the expert in that field. And when you're the expert in that field, people will trust you more. And in fact, not only will they trust you more, you end up spending more time in that field and actually getting better until you actually do become the expert in the field. So pick one niche, stick with it, be persistent, get really, really good at it, hone in your skills, and eventually you won't have to chase after leads. They're gonna chase after you. You will become so good that they can't ignore you. Your work will speak for itself, and that only happens when you niche down. But when you switch from niche to niche to niche, you're never able to master one, and you're never able to become the true expert of that field. And that's the third step to decommoditizing yourself. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you're interested in working with my creative YouTube agency, click the link in the description. Or if you're interested in building an agency yourself, I'm helping some people out right now. Click the other link in the description. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.